My name is Victor Rubidoux. I'm the aviary manager for the Bakoji Kachi, the Gray Snow Eagle House, the Iowa tribe of Oklahoma. And where we're at right now is in our main flight. These eagles in here can actually fly. They're fly not well enough to be released back in the wild due to their wing injury, eyesight, but they do have flight capability. The other birds in the other cages have limited flight, so that's where they're in the smaller cages. And these birds out here have all been through the rehab process and are termed non-releasable, and that's how come we get to keep them under our religious use permit. We try to keep 11 birds per facility. That way they have plenty of space. They don't fly into each other, don't cause other injuries. We have birds from all over the U.S. We do rehab on Oklahoma birds, but we do go out of state to pick up birds that have been through the rehab process and are termed non-releasable. Other facilities can't keep those birds. We can keep them under our religious use permit. So we have birds from Connecticut, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nebraska, Colorado, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, Utah, and Colorado, and Oregon. As I was stating earlier, we do rehabilitation, we do keep non-releasables, we do education, we go out and do presentations at schools. Under our rehabilitation, we have done 9 releases so far, getting birds get them back out into the wild. The last one we did was St. Patrick's Day of this year over in Tulsa. A bird was found over there. We got it healed up and was able to release it back out in the wild.
These are the golden eagles. We picked them up from all over mainly the western states, Colorado, Utah, Oregon. They get shot up there a lot. We get some, they get hit by trains, coal trucks. It's a pretty rough country out there. They're nest on cliffs, whereas bald eagles nest in trees around large bodies of water. Golden eagles nest on cliffs in rougher terrain, mountainous terrain. They take, they're more predatory than the balds. Balds are scavengers, will eat a lot of fish, but the golden eagles eat deer, mountain goats, foxes, wolves, coyotes. Like the balds, the females are larger than the males. They have up to about an 8-foot wingspan, pretty far north. Down around this area, birds, actually the goldens, the only goldens we have in Oklahoma are out in the Panhandle, and there's 3 nesting pair out there in the Panhandle.
So my name is Megan Trope. I'm the assistant manager of the Gray Snow Eagle House, and we are in our mini flight right now. And so these birds have no ability to fly. They've lost their ability to fly because they've been hit by a car, they had a wing injury that didn't heal correctly, they have feather breaking problems. And so we've designed this cage different than the other cage so that it can fit their accommodations. So you'll see that all of the perches are down lower. We have ramps up to the perches. We have the stump system so they can hop on the stump up to the perches, and so that way they can get around easily even though they've lost their ability to fly. And all the birds in this cage are bald eagles. So one of the newest ventures that the Gray Snow Eagle House has started is we've started a collaboration with OSU and the Gray Snow Eagle House to work on the genetic structure of bald and golden eagles. The tribe is graciously paid to have the golden eagle genome sequenced, and so we'll be working on annotating that and putting that together. And then we're also working on the genetic health of the bald eagle population. So because of DDT, their population numbers dropped in the 1970s, and while their numbers have increased, we're interested in seeing what happens specifically to the genetic variation between individuals. And so we want to know if they've completely recovered at the genetic level from this drop, and then we also want to answer the question that's highly debated on if there is a northern subpopulation of bald eagles and a southern subpopulation of bald eagles. And so through the genetic research, we're going to be able to answer these questions and give a positive answer at the genetic level to these questions.
We provide our eagles with a variety of foods. We try to provide them with fresh food. Our rat house now has about 500 rats in it. We hope to double our occupancy by the end of the year. We also provide fresh fish from 2 local fisheries. We have rabbits on site that we get from a local breeder, and we also have deer and bison that we feed the eagles. We try to give them a variety of food just so they can have different nutrients and it doesn't get bored. This is our new ICU room. We used to have the ICU in the office and everybody would walk through and it was kind of noisy. So we tried to build a bigger building for them so we can have up to 8 occupants if necessary, and they're away from the office and from people so they can have peace and quiet to heal.
I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the rehab flight cage here. Here at the Gray Snow Eagle House, as you can see, it's a 150-foot cage. And before the eagles actually get to this, we try to assess them and make sure all their injuries are at 100% so they can come back here and get to normal form when they get released back out in the wild. And what I mean when I say that, much like an athlete or an individual who sustains an injury, you have to go through some kind of rehab process in order to get back to normal, daily operations. And when they get back here, we try to fly them each morning about 10 to 14 times. As you can see, there's 3 of them back there. But we'll try to fly them back and forth. And we give them a little bit of a bend. That's why we built this right here, so they can practice on their turns each way. And this kind of serves as a dual purpose cage as well. When we sit there and we want to see how well they can hunt, we'll either put live fish over in our pond that we built here, or we'll release a live rabbit.
So behind me are our quarantine cages. It's extremely important when we bring a new bird into the facility that it goes down here so we can do our vet exams. No matter if the bird came from another rehab or if it came from the wild, it'll come down here for 2 weeks so we can do all of its fecal work and blood work. When it gets a clean bill of health, then we'll be able to put it in with the resident population birds. But this way we're ensuring that we don't introduce any new parasites or any new diseases to the birds that are living here and that have a clean bill of health. So this is one of our mews that we started with at the beginning. This mew's smaller, and so that way birds that have a lower ability to fly can come in here. They can move around, and it also helps for birds that would rather not be in a large group setting. We can keep them in a smaller cage with fewer birds. So we have 2 special residents that live in this cage. They are sibling eagles that were born in consecutive years on the Arkansas River here in Oklahoma. And they both have the same problem, that their primary feathers and their tail feathers break off for unknown reasons. And so this is another goal of the genetic project that we're working with OSU, is to figure out why. We want to know if this is a genetic problem that's been passed on through their parents, or if this is because of a virus that has mutated, and we hope to figure out what is causing this problem so that we can help other rehabbers who have similar problems for not only eagles but other species of raptors as well.
Who I have here today is RB. He's our resident golden eagle in our education program. And one of the cool slogans about our education program that came from Harley Coleman is kind of preservation through education. And what that kind of means, I'll give you a breakdown, is through our civilization and the advancement of technology, the hazards that these guys have to endure and go through have also increased. And so not only do we have to look out for our environment, we also have to look out for our friends of the environment. And RB here is one of our friends here at the Gray Snow Eagle House, and he's a about 4-year-old golden eagle. And he came to us from Price, Utah, and he was the unfortunate victim of actually a gunshot wound. And someone came out and shot him, and Victor Rubadu came out to Price, Utah, and rescued him and brought him back. And he's made his way back into our education program, where we go out and we try to teach the general public and just make them aware of all the hazards and dangers that he has to go through.
Well, this cage in here is our second side mews. We had to build this when I told the tribe that I had to turn down 35 eagles. They gave us some money to add on this facility here all the way to the end to be able to house more eagles. They've been very good to us on giving us some money to be able to build these facilities and take care of these injured eagles. We've talked with other tribes across the country. We've actually helped 4 tribes with their grants and getting their facilities up, because unfortunately we can't save all the eagles, but so we're trying to get other tribes involved in the same thing we're doing. This cage here, like I said, the tribes helped us out with this. They also, with our mini flight, they provided the money for that. Just about anything that we've needed to take care of eagles, the tribe has been good enough to us to supply us with the funds to do that. But our main goal is providing this year is taking care of their fish, their food supply, fish, building a new raceway to house fish in so we can get them on fresh fish. Also, we've got our rat house. We had to triple the size of it so we can make sure we've got enough food to take care of them. Hopefully next year we'll be able to build another cage or two to be able to house more eagles. I've already had to turn down 8 eagles so far this year. So we'll be going after another facility next year.